Hello, it's me again. I'm back. So I am here to, first of all, say thank you to all of you. I really do appreciate you. And I'm excited about sharing a lot of the things that I've worked on for my whole life and a lot of things I've thought about and a lot of things I've observed. So it's fun to share that with those of you who appreciate it. And I know I can't please everyone, but that's okay. None of us can. So I just wanted to remind all of you, if you're in the Austin area or you're traveling to Austin for any reason and you know somebody or you have an injury, a back injury, and you're willing to go on camera with it, I really prefer showing injuries with this kind of work that I do because it's kind of hard to pretend like there's an injury in what I'm feeling, because in a healthy body, you don't feel the activity like in an injured body. So just a reminder, if you know of that or you're willing to do it yourself, just let me know, because I would love to share working on an injury with all of you out there. I want to talk to you a little bit today about what I'm seeing as far as the society in general, because we're all part of that and we're going to have to work together if we're going to want to change things for the better. And we're also going to have to understand a lot of things of what's going on. How come it's like it is? What is it that makes it like it is? What's going on? Who's in control? Who's not in control? So the thing that is the most important thing to understand here is that when a person is in fear or easily influenced by fear, they're very malleable. They're very easy to control. They're easy to con. They're easy to lie to, because in the state of fear, you're in a different physiological state. You're in fight or flight. There's different hormonal patterns that are running through your body. And it's not something, it's more about survival. It's not something about sitting down and thinking something through with critical thinking and rationality and discussion with somebody else. It's like getting locked into a particular narrative that you believe, which may or may not be true, or maybe parts of it are true, but maybe some of it isn't. But without closer examination and discernment, there's a chance that you're going to be led astray into something, doing something to yourself that's maybe harmful, or putting yourself in a situation that's going to be difficult, more difficult for you than it would have to be if you were taking things into your own hands and processing thought and rationality the way it should be. I say this because there is going to be a lot of things changing in the days ahead. And I know that some of us have been waiting for a long time for a lot of this to happen, but this planet has been pushed into a pretty serious situation where there's some tremendously wicked humanoids, and I'm going to call them humanoids out there because it's going to challenge some of you, I know, but seriously, I can't see how human beings can do the things that some of these creatures are doing, and the lies that they're telling, and the things that they're doing to cause so much harm to humanity in general. And a lot of that is because they've put many, many people into the state of fear. And I keep reflecting back to the passages in Thomas that I mentioned in another video about, if you don't know who you are, you're not known, and therefore you are poverty. You are the poverty. And the poverty is being in fear, where you're not thinking your mind for yourself and you're just listening to what the herd is telling you or what the supposed authorities are telling you. And the authorities are lying in most cases. It's very hard to discern anymore what's true and what isn't, but you can usually tell by the fruit that's produced by these things that come out of their mouth. Do they produce things that are good for society, or do they produce things that are harmful on society or harmful for the person? I've mentioned before, there's two different timelines. They're becoming clearer and clearer. And I know that there's a lot of frustration with people who see what's going on, and having discussions with people who don't see what's going on. It's extremely frustrated because it's almost like two worlds, living in two worlds, living in two mindsets, living in two, like the kindergarten grade and the college grade. It's like not able to have a conversation because there's a lack of knowledge about what the function of how this world is functioning with the debt system and with the birth certificate and with the supposed medical system that's supposed to be helping us that isn't. And I mentioned that in my longer presentation about perception, what's going on in the medical system. Even bills and laws are created to support profit. We need to get away from that. And so rather than going into a lot of that, I just want to tell you, check in with your fear. Find out how much fear level you have. Are you afraid to still you walk in a store without a face covering? Are you still afraid that there's something out there that's going to get you? Are you still listening to Dr. F guy, who I don't want to mention because it'll be censored? But if you're listening to him, I urge you all to do a deep dive research into this man and his people around him. You're not going to like what you find. Fear is an important weapon for those who want to control others. Fear is an important state to put people in to also mess up with their psychology, scare them half to death, tell them stories that aren't true, and then offer them things that cause harm. So please, if you would, just take the time and check into your fear. And if you hear different things that you're not used to hearing, like a different paradigm, like maybe we're going to be having a monetary system where we don't have debt anymore. Most of us don't have a clue what that would look like. But don't discredit it. Don't say it can't happen just because the debt system has been controlled by these small group of people for so long that we think it's true. We think it's the way the world has to run. So check all that out. Be open with your mind to take on new ideas. Start looking at your life like a journey going forward and things that you can create for yourself around you. And get in agreement with other people who are talking about things that matter. Let's stop talking about the sports people that make millions of dollars to throw balls around. Let's stop talking about the Hollywood and the stars, because we all know what they're really up to, and we all know that they're not on your side. Let's just start talking about things that are going to move this population and this world forward with more advanced thinking, learning higher ways of being, figuring out more creativity with what we do in our world, in our life, to contribute to the others and to also contribute to ourselves in just the joy of what it is to be giving and helping other people. It's a big, fun journey out there, but we have to twist our thinking into something that's more solid, something that's coming from our heart, something that's not being programmed into our mind. And we can do it, and we can change things, and it can be really beautiful, because I do know there are good things coming. The medical system is going to be collapsing the way that we know the medical system to be. And there's going to be new technologies out there that are going to just be so mind-boggling and so wonderful that we aren't going to have to deal with disease and sickness, and we'll be responsible for ourselves. These things are coming, but they can't come to a world when people are doubting it and still fighting with each other and still arguing about, oh, if you said that word that starts with a J and ends with a W, you are definitely a bad person. You can't do that anymore. Let's just stop it. Let's learn why that word is being used. Let's learn the history of what that is all about, because it puts a whole different light on everything. It's about empowerment. I've always been about empowerment, and I'm showing it through things you can do with your body as well as ways of thinking differently and looking at the world differently. Because there's nothing can stop this change coming, nothing. And the only way that you can get out of it is to leave the planet. So it sounds crazy, but that's all right. I just want to see all of you happy and healthy and moving in a wonderful way where you can be creative, rich, full, and know who you really are. So make that your goal in life. Put aside all this other stuff. Just roll through these things that you're seeing that are so troublesome. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about if we're going to have all these shortages. All of that is just tactics to divert you from the real issue of straightening things out, which is happening in Arizona right now, and it will go to other states. That's going to start to correct things, make things that will work, make things that are going to come into the play where they're fair. They have some morality behind it, some ethics behind it, because no way can we have a world of peace until we clean up what's inside, we clean up the fear inside, and we start to look at the future as a thing of creation instead of the future as something of destruction. It's not that hard to do, but it is hard to do. So with that, I just want to say again, thank you so much to all of you who tune in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all you do in the world. And keep on shining, keep on growing, and keep on looking forward. With that, I say, see you again soon. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And I think there's a little bell up there that you can hit that you'll get a notification every time we post. So if you want to, you can hit that too. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.